Hey ladies, welcome to One Take Girl Chat. That's hard for me to say, where I film like one take without any editing, just a chatty video with you where I pick a few things that I think would be fun to share with you. This is actually round two. Well, actually today I've restarted this video a couple times too, but I filmed this whole video last week and I wasn't really happy with it, and it was 30 minutes long, which is a little long for me, so I'm redoing it here and hopefully I'll be more content with it. But let me know again in the comments, are you guys okay with having the video filmed like this vertically? You know, all my shorts videos are filmed this way, and I kind of like this vertical setup, but I know it's not like the traditional YouTube. So if it bothers you, if you watch a lot of times on your computer or TV, I know this setup would bother you, but if you watch a lot on your phone, then maybe it wouldn't. And I really hope with this kind of video that you get stuff done around your house, that you just put your headphones on, because you don't really need to watch me. It's more like a podcast setup video, and that's what I like about it. It feels more down to earth with you guys, gives me opportunity to share lots of different things that are on my heart. And so I hope you'll get things done while you watch this video. The three things I want to talk about today, I never got to talking about wrinkles last time, so we're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to talk about what I'm doing for working out now and just a little bit about my journey with that. And then lastly, I had someone ask me to share more about single motherhood and homeschooling and all of that. So haven't really updated you guys in a long time, like how things are going with my single mom journey. So I'll end on that today. But first, wrinkles. So you want to know kind of something a little bit humbling, I feel like, that happened to me recently. I was getting a little prideful thinking, I don't really have under eye wrinkles. Like I don't really need to worry about eye cream or anything like that. And then I probably had these wrinkles. I don't know if I didn't notice them or what, but then weeks later, or maybe a month or whatever later, I realized, oh, I actually do have under eye wrinkles. Okay, I smile, you know, I have a pretty big smile, so you can see them around my eyes. So I don't know, what was I thinking? Was I not noticing them? Especially this one is the one that lately, you can see from the side, has been bothering me. And so I guess it was like a humbling moment of like, oh yeah, I do have wrinkles around my eye and I am getting older. What I find so funny and shocking about the aging process is it feels like for example, getting gray hairs. I remember my first gray hair I got in my early 20s, and I was like, wait, I'm too young for this. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be getting this yet. And then even just with skin changes with my face, you know, starting to get wrinkles, it still feels too young. But now I'm 36, so what can I expect? Like, I feel like your 20s, you know, from 18 to maybe mid 20s, you're kind of going on an uphill of like your appearance. And then things start to change. You get more aches and pains. You start to get wrinkles. You get more gray hairs, or you start to get gray hairs. Like, it's just life. But one thing I've tried to encourage myself with lately when I look at things about my face specifically that I don't like, I'm wearing makeup today. Maybe sometime I'll show you without makeup, but like I have red veins around my nose. Like I said, the wrinkles, I have a little bit of melasma above my lip. Again, I have lipstick on today. Sometime maybe I'll give you I don't know if it would be encouraging or not. Let me show you all the things wrong with my face. But what I'm trying to say is I try to remind myself, like, everyone has imperfections with their skin that they don't like. And we probably don't notice them so much in our friends or people we see on social media because we're not looking like this at them like we look at ourselves in a mirror. But probably most people don't notice the imperfections that we can get obsessed with. And tell me in the comments, do you ever get kind of obsessed with imperfections or like new skin spots or things like that you notice on your face? I will get like that, where I will get kind of like worried and kind of like obsessed about it, and probably nobody else really notices. Like when I first started getting a little bit of darkening above my lip, I was very, very self-conscious about it, and my mom's like, I don't even notice it that much. And I think my fear is always like, oh, is it going to get worse? And then I'm going to have like a mustache above my lip. And I actually went to my dermatologist and got, what is that product called? Hydroquinone? Quinone? I don't know what it's called. It's like a skin lightening product. And I was going to use that on my face, but I haven't. I'm too scared to even use that because I'm like, you know what? It's really not that bad. What if I make it worse by using this above my lip? So all that to say, it can be so easy, at least for my personality, to get a little bit obsessive about things I don't like about my appearance and skin changes. And we are changing as we get older. And probably one thing that I'm not good at change. If you're not good at change, then probably the aging process hits you a little bit harder. And if you struggle with vanity, like I know I do, then it probably makes it a little bit harder. But change is just going to happen. And so we can either, be fighting against it and be worried about it, or we can try to go with the flow with it. And of course, take care of our skin and do the best that we can to look youthful in a healthy way. And for me, doing that looks like trying to use skincare regularly. Like I use sunscreen and I try to put moisturizer on my face every night. And I use like Vaseline on my lips every night to keep them from getting dry. I also try to like exfoliate my face, but I'm not doing anything extreme like Botox or fillers or anything like that. I want to go the natural route, and I hope that I can age gracefully, that I can be okay with accepting that I'm going to look different as life goes on. And there's a scripture verse that encourages me when I think about aging, and I believe it's in 1 Corinthians, where it talks about, though our outer body fades away, inwardly we're being renewed day by day. And what I love about that verse is that it reminds me that yes, I may get older, I may not look as good as I once was, but inwardly I can grow in maturity. I can grow in my faith, and I can grow into more of the woman of God that He wants me to be. And that is irreplaceable. Like that is what's most important. And that makes life exciting, thinking about growing in maturity and overcoming struggles and getting closer to the Lord. So those are some thoughts I have. Let me know, how are you doing if you're in your 30s, mid 30s with the aging process? So working out, that's another thing that has changed. Specifically when I turned 30, I never was into working out. Okay, me in high school, junior high, I did not play sports. I was not athletic. I was not coordinated. I went to one basketball practice thinking I wanted to play basketball and decided, nope, I'm not going to do it. Part of my problem was, here goes sharing some of my weaknesses. I felt like I was insecure about how I was not very good, and all the other girls knew more at basketball when I went to this practice. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to do it. And that's kind of a bummer that I struggled and still do struggle with, like being bad at something to get good at something, right? And that takes humility. Anyways, so I turned 30, never having really exercised, like not making that a priority at all in my life. When I turned 30, I realized I wanted to start getting in shape, but it was like a journey of me trying different workout programs, trying things too hard. Like I really needed beginner, and then hurting myself, then taking a break, and then like not making it a priority again and not exercising for months and months, like extended period of time. So it's been a long process. But in the last probably year or so, I've been realizing off and on like how I enjoy Pilates, and I feel like it's a low impact workout that to me feels like very feminine. It's slower movements. It's not like this really intense thing. And I really like it. And okay, I've not been consistent with it. I've had times where I was consistent working out to some extent, but I've never been like, I'm going to do Pilates like 5 days a week or anything like that. Until this last month, for the last maybe 3 weeks, I've been trying to do Pilates regularly, multiple times a week, because I just had this realization that if I want to make working out or if I want to get better at Pilates, like I need to do it consistently. I can't just do it here and there and everywhere. And so I'm excited about that challenge to see like how I'm going to improve with Pilates. It does feel sometimes overwhelming because I do my Pilates videos on YouTube. And I'll share with you, two people I really like is Move with Nicole. I've been doing a lot of her videos. I'll link her channel below. And I also like Callie Jardine. She's so sweet and she's a Christian. And so she has some videos. She has an app, which I did for a while, but she also has some free videos on her YouTube channel. So finding the people that like you jive with, I feel like is so important. And YouTube is great that they have free workout videos. I love working out at home. It feels like it saves time. Recently we got like an athletic club membership, but I don't think I'm gonna continue it because I prefer working out at home. As a busy mom, I can fit it in a lot of times in the evening, and it's just so much more convenient for me. Have you as a mom figured out a workout program or a type of exercise that you really like? You'll have to let me know in the comments. I think the key with getting consistent with something is, I know people have said this and it like took me a while to get it, was finding something you actually enjoy, that you like doing, that you can stick with doing. And everyone's going to be so different with that. And everybody's physical body is different and what, they enjoy doing that isn't like super, for me, I don't want something that's like super intense because that doesn't seem fun to me. I don't know, maybe I'll change. We'll see how I change over time. But I'm excited about challenging myself to do Pilates multiple times a week and seeing how I improve with it. And the other thing I like about Pilates is it feels relaxing. It feels like it's not only helpful for me physically, but mentally as well. So it's just like slower movements. And yes, sometimes I'm breathing hard and there's movements that are challenging for sure, but it's just different, I guess, than something that's high intensity. So lastly, single motherhood and homeschooling. So I have been on this single mom journey for 10 years. And in the past on my channel, I've made multiple videos about things about my single mom journey. And I kind of haven't made a video talking about that in quite a while. I could probably make just one video about just that. So maybe I will do that at some point, but I feel like I'm at the point in my journey. So yeah, it's been 10 years. Did I say that? I don't know. Yes, I think I said that. Since I started this journey, I was separated for 3.5 years, and then after that got divorced. I feel like I'm at the point in the journey where I'm like more settled into this role and this lifestyle, I guess life reality. It's not really, I don't know, lifestyle, but being a single mom affects like every area of your life when it comes to your work, family time, taking care of the home. Like it's a completely different lifestyle. And I've just kind of really settled into that, if that makes sense. I have a 10-year-old now and a 13-year-old, so my kids are older. I've been homeschooling since my daughter was in kindergarten. So I think she's in 7th grade. So we're like on our 8th year of homeschooling. And so I'm just thankful that I'm past the point of like really grieving and going through the really intense challenges. And that's not to say that there aren't challenges every day with single motherhood for me, because there are. Like, trying to do it all is hard. And probably some of my biggest challenges are, trying to do it all and sometimes feeling guilty, like I'm not doing good enough, not doing enough, and juggling work and homeschooling and spending time with my kids. That's a lot. And then also the finances. I feel like worrying about money is always like just like kind of a constant thing, pretty consistently. And part of that's my fault because the Lord always provides. He always takes care of me. And even though money is tight, like I always have enough. Like I always am able to pay my bills. And yet I still do worry about finances. And it's a burden, I think, being the sole. Yes, I do get child support and I'm so, so thankful for that. But being the main like financial like provider, in the home, being the only one to manage my finances and all of that can be challenging at times. But there is on the positive side, there's such a sweet, special closeness that if you're a single mom, you understand this, that you have with your children as a single mom. Like, I don't have a spouse that is like my best friend that I'm doing a lot of things with. I have my children that are my best friends that I'm doing, spending all this time with. And I love that. I call us sometimes the Three Musketeers because we are really close. My kids are so sweet. They're so fun to be around. And as they are getting older, like, they're even more fun to be around because they're like they're little humans that are, they are growing more, and we have conversations, we talk about things. And I just love that, being able to do fun activities with them. I do feel like as they've gotten older, homeschooling has gotten more intense. And my daughter does a lot of it she pretty much does all of it on her own because she has a video curriculum that she does with Becca. So she watches video teaching mainly for math and English, which helps so much because she's getting into concepts and things that are like past me. So she's very self-motivated. She watches those videos. She has like the lesson plan that Becca gives that tells you what you need to do each day. And I'll check her work even in the video, sometimes the teacher will like check their work and like go over the answers, which is really nice. So I'm working a lot with my son who is in 4th grade with homeschooling, but homeschooling takes up a lot of time between that and work. That's what I'm doing most days. But I am so thankful for homeschooling, incredibly thankful, especially as a single mom, that I have the ability to do that I have a flexible job cleaning houses that gives me the time to homeschool. And I'm so glad that my kids are not having like secular influence, like day in, day out, 8 hours a day. And as a single mom, I love that we're really developing this close family dynamic that I think is something with kids that are already in a divorced family. Like, being able to be with them so much, I think, is really valuable. And so I'm very grateful to the Lord for that. So, and I wish sometimes I would share them, like pictures of them on social media, or I used to do even videos with them on my channel. But as they've gotten older, I've gotten like more protective of them and just not wanting to put them out like for the world to see. I know most of you guys would be positive and encouraging and sweet, but then there's also like that very tiny percentage that I don't know. At their age right now, I just don't share them on social media. But just to peel back behind the scenes of like my day-to-day life, it's so much revolved around them and being with them. And I just love them dearly. So thankful that I get to be their mom. And it's so fun to see them be a blessing to other people. Like, when people are positive and encouraging and like say kind things about my children, it just means so much. And yeah, I'm really, really grateful. I'm grateful for my parents' involvement. They are very involved. We live super close to them. My kids will go to their house when I work, and they help homeschool them. And they are a huge part of my kids' lives. And, I never grew up living close to my parents. I never grew up living close to my grandparents. And so the fact that they get to have this, like, is so awesome. It's so cool. And I'm very, very close to my parents. They're like my best friends. And so having my kids close with them as well is so great. So I have so much to be thankful for. Yes, life is challenging as a single mom, and it has its unique issues, but I have a lot to be grateful for. And I'm thankful that me being able to share these things about my single mom journey hopefully encourages if you're a single mom watching, hopefully it encourages you, because it can feel sometimes isolating as a single mom. I mean, I have some single mom friends, but the majority in church are people that are married. And so sometimes it can feel like lonely. But hopefully me sharing these things makes you feel less alone, makes you be reminded that you're not in the trenches of single parenting alone. There's other moms doing the same thing. There's other single moms that are homeschooling as well. And that's amazing. In fact, I thought I saw a statistic that 20%, I asked ChatGTP how many single moms homeschool, and I think it said 20% of single moms homeschool, which I was actually very surprised at that number. That seemed high for me, which is awesome. Really, really cool. So these are things I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you have a great start to your week. I really love these chats. Put in the comments anything that you would like me to talk about on my next One Take Girl chat. I would love to know. I would love to share about things you're interested in. That's all I have to share with you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.